A travel time of 24 hours on the Volta River when the Adomi bridge was closed has been reduced to 30 minutes. This is because a broken down pontoon, which happens to be the second pontoon, has been repaired. Passenger vehicles plying the route are worried about the first charge to cross the river on the pontoon.
To the Accra side of the Volta River. But it takes about 30 minutes to just wait for your turn. But on Monday, it was worse as passengers, drivers took about 24 hours just waiting for their turn to cross the Volta River. What we gather is that after the second pontoon was fixed and brought onto the river, it has reduced drastically the waiting time. But the challenges for drivers are not just the waiting time.
Monday, As
at Monday, there was no increment in our fares, but now we have added 1 cedi. We use that for the toll, and that has slowed business.
The
Roads and Highways says the fares charged by the officials are justified.
When it comes to replacing the vessels, we should be in a good financial position to readily replace the vehicles if they have to be replaced. So that also was factored into it.
But plans are far advanced to reduce the prices in the coming week.
We are listening to the concerns of motorists and other users, stakeholders. My chief executive was getting ready to have this meeting, and then it will be reviewed. So very soon that will be done, and to give some relief to our dear motorists and other stakeholders.
Toilet facilities at the site were yet to be completed. What we gathered was that the toilets will be completed in 2 weeks' time.
And we'll go on the phone line and be speaking to our correspondent, Nako Kwabla, because Ghana Highway authorities operating 2 ferries, each loaded at the same time at either end of the landing site at St. Chi due to the closure of the Adomi bridge. The 300-ton capacity vessels conveys an average of 16 vehicles and over 100 passengers at a time, and is expected to take less than 8 minutes from one landing site to the other. Since the introduction of the ferry on March 10, there have been concerns from both motorists and the traveling public, especially over the delays, what they describe as the high tolls charged. Currently, motorists pay between 1 cedi and 85 cedis charged, including 10 cedis for saloon cars, 15 cedis for light buses, 33-seater buses and Kia trucks, while the VIP and Metro Mass transit buses as well as 26 axle tipper trucks pay 20 cedis. Ambulances, diplomatic vehicles, the security services, fire service, Red Crosses and Christian vehicles are exempted because they enjoy the same privileges pertaining to road tolls. Nako Kwabla is on the line. Nako, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Bridget.
All right, Nako, what have you gathered so far?
All right, we just landed at Accra from the St. Ferry site, and the engineer on site has been explaining why such high fares. He said each ferry, 2 engines and 2 generators, and each ferry uses 5 gallons per trip, which is actually 6 minutes. And so they are afraid of having a problem of fuel shortage, and so to keep the ferry running every time, that's how come they arrived at the fares they are charging the drivers. And so far, the 2 ferries are working. There's no congestion. Within 6 minutes, you can just move from St. to here. The Parliamentary Select Committee is a bit worried because they're comparing it to the one at Dambai. This place is just about half a kilometer, and with the fares they are charging, comparing it to Dambai is about 1 kilometer to cross. They are saying it's too much. So we just landed at Accra. We are yet to talk to the Parliamentary Select Committee here and the other stakeholders here to see what will be the next line of action. Whether
Nako,
or it will still stay that way. Ready?
All right, now, before you even go into the Parliamentary Select Committee, I want us to know, you just explained how they arrived at the fares, but was there any form of communication to the people, in fact, the motorists themselves? Was there any form of communication?
I'm not sure about that, Bridget, but we are yet to find that out from him himself. We'll have an interview with him shortly. And the Parliamentary Selection, we were not too happy. It seems as if the decision was taken by the engineers, and they are not even aware of that. So we'll be asking that question to him, and I'll update you when I get the answers to this question.
Okay, the Parliamentary Select Committee, so far, what has authorities told them, and how has their response been in connection with the current situation pertaining to the ferries?
Yes, the engineer, what I explained to you earlier was exactly what the engineer also told them. And they are here because the Speaker of Parliament had asked them to come and find out for themselves if truly the fares are too high for both passengers and drivers to pay. I'm told that Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa actually made a statement on the floor of the House, which the Speaker directed them to come. So they are also here on more or less a fact-finding mission to find out if truly the fares are too high and if possibly something can be done about it. So either reduce it or perhaps leave it as it is.
Okay, and now, you have been there. I just read a piece that the traveling time from 24 hours has been reduced to 30 minutes. You have been there. How has your own experience been like? Does it confirm what we read?
For me, I would say that because we were walking, we were passengers, we didn't have a car, it's less than 10 minutes. It actually takes 6 minutes to cross over. But then for the loading, the engineer estimated that it would take 30 minutes to load the ferry. But apart from that, it doesn't take too long. It doesn't take too long. As long as you board at St. Hugh, it takes you just 6 minutes to get to Accra.
All right. Nako, thank you very much. And stay safe. Right, that was my colleague Nako Kwabla. They are reporting that indeed the Parliamentary Select Committee is there. They are looking at whether the prices being charged are too high. What more can they do to that? If you're there, please send us your comment at News on TV3 for Twitter or News on TV3 for Facebook, and I'll share your thoughts with the rest of the world. Or you can go to our website, tv3network.com. Remember to prefix it with www.